Dear students, in this presentation, we will have a detailed discussion on rotational spectroscopy. We will see how to derive the moment of inertia and rotational energy of a rotating diatomic molecule using rigid rotator model. We will also discuss about the selection rules for transitions and about rotational energy levels. We have seen that rotational spectroscopy is the study of transitions between rotational energy levels by absorption of radiation in the microwave region. And also, molecules with a permanent dipole moment will produce a rotational spectrum. The simplest case of such a molecule is the diatomic molecule. To develop a description of the rotational states, we will consider the molecule to be a rigid object. Rigid object means the bond lengths are fixed and the molecule cannot vibrate. This model for rotation is called a rigid rotator model. Rigid rotator or rigid rotor. So it's a model for a rotating diatomic molecule. And rigid rotator or rigid rotor means that the internuclear bond distance does not change during rotation. That is, a molecule does not distort under the stress of rotation. So this model is used for deriving the rotational energy of a diatomic molecule. Now let's see how to calculate the moment of inertia of a rigid diatomic molecule. Consider a polar diatomic molecule rotating about an axis passing through its center of gravity. Let M1 and M2 be the masses of the atoms, a distance R1 and R2 from the center of mass. So the center of gravity is defined by M1 R1 equals M2 R2. If R is the equilibrium bond length, then R equals R1 plus R2. Now we are considering the molecule as one in which the two masses are joined by a rigid bar of length R, so that the molecule becomes a rigid rotator or a rigid rotor. So the moment of inertia for such a rigid molecule is given by I equals M1 R1 square plus M2 R2 square, which can also be written as M1 R1 R1 plus M2 R2 R2. Now according to equation 1, M1 R1 equals M2 R2. So in equation A, we write M2 R2 instead of M1 R1 and M1 R1 instead of M2 R2. Therefore, I equals M2 R2 R1 plus M1 R1 R2. Here R1 and R2 is common, so that is equal to R1 R2 into M2 plus M1. In equation 2, R equals R1 plus R2. Or we can write R2 equals R minus R1. Substituting the value of R2 in equation 1, we can write M1 R1 equals M2 into R minus R1, which is equal to M2R minus M2R1. On rearranging, we can write M1 R1 plus M2 R1 is equal to M2R, or R1 into M1 plus M2 equals M2R. Therefore, R1 is equal to M2R by M1 plus M2. Similarly, using this equation R equals R1 plus R2 or R1 equals R minus R2, we can obtain the value for R2, that is R2 equals M1R by M1 plus M2. Now, in equation A, we substitute the values of R1 and R2. That is I equals M1 into, instead of R1 square, write M2R by M1 plus M2 the whole square, plus M2 into, instead of R2 square, write M1R by M1 plus M2 the whole square, which is equal to M1 m2 square r square by m1 plus m2 the whole square plus m2 m1 square r square by m1 plus m2 the whole square. So here in both terms, m2, m1 and r square is common. So that is equal to m1 m2 r square by m1 plus m2 the whole square into m1 plus m2. So if we cancel off 1 m1 plus m2, we have the moment of inertia I equals m1 m2 by m1 plus m2 into r square, which can be simplified as I equals mu r square, where mu equals m1 m2 by m1 plus m2, which is called the reduced mass of the molecule. So we have obtained the equation for moment of inertia of a rigid diatomic molecule, which is I equals mu r square, where mu equals m1 m2 by m1 plus m2 and is known as the reduced mass of the molecule. Next step is to derive the expression for rotational energy of the diatomic molecule. So we have considered the rotation of a diatomic molecule. The angular momentum is given by L equals I omega, where I is the moment of inertia and omega is the angular velocity. The angular momentum is quantized and its values is given by L equals root of j into j plus 1 into h by 2 pi, where j equals 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. and is known as the rotational quantum number. The classical expression for energy is given by, rotational energy is given by Ej equals half I omega square, which can also be written as half I omega square into I by I, which is equal to I omega the whole square by 2I. I omega is L, the angular momentum. So instead of I omega the whole square, we can write L square. So E equals L square by 2I. Now if we substitute the value of L in this equation, which is L is equal to root of j into j plus 1 into h by 2 pi. Therefore, L square becomes h square by 4 pi square into j plus 1. If we substitute that, we will have the quantized rotational energy of a diatomic molecule, that is Ej equals h square by 8 pi square I j into j plus 1 joules. The energy is in joules. E equals h square by 8 pi square I j into j plus 1, where h is the Planck's constant, I is the moment of inertia and j is the rotational quantum number. Usually we express the energy in terms of wave number, nu bar. Okay. So epsilon j equals Ej by h into c. H is the Planck's constant, c is the velocity of light. So in terms of wave number, we can express the rotational energy as epsilon j equals h by 8 pi square IC j into j plus 1 centimeter inverse. This can be simplified as epsilon j equals bj into j plus 1, where b equals h by 8 pi square IC, and that is known as the rotational constant. So we have defined a new term b, which is called the rotational constant, whose value is given by b equals h by 8 pi square IC. So these two equations are important. One is the equation for rotational energy. In terms of joules, it is E equals h square by 8 pi square I j into j plus 1. In terms of wave number, we have epsilon j equals bj into j plus 1, where b is the rotational constant and its value is given by h by 8 pi square IC. We have seen the moment of inertia and rotational energy of a diatomic molecule. Next is about the selection rules. We have already seen that only molecules with a permanent dipole moment will produce a rotational spectrum, and that is the most essential condition. Now, by absorbing microwave radiation, the molecule will undergo transitions between the rotational energy levels. But all possible rotational transitions are not quantum mechanically allowed transitions. So there is a selection rule which determines which transitions are quantum mechanically allowed, which can be stated as only those rotational transitions are allowed for which delta J equals plus or minus 1. This is the quantum mechanical selection rule. That is, only those rotational transitions in which the rotational quantum number J changes by 1 unit are allowed, and all other transitions are forbidden. This is a selection rule for rotational spectroscopy. So we have two conditions. The first and the foremost condition is that the molecules must have a permanent dipole moment. The second one is the selection rule based on quantum mechanics, which states that only those rotational transitions are quantum mechanically allowed for which delta J equals plus or minus 1, where delta J is the change in the rotational quantum number. J can change by only 1 unit. Plus sign denotes an upward transition by absorption of energy, and minus sign denotes the downward transition by emission of energy. So delta J equals plus or minus 1, and all other transitions are forbidden. The rotational energy in terms of wave number is epsilon J equals Bj into J plus 1. If we put J equals 0, epsilon J equals 0. For J equals 1, epsilon J equals 2b. For J equals 2, epsilon J equals 6b. And for J equals 3, epsilon J equals 12b, and so on. So this is represented in this rotational energy level diagram. And these are the allowed rotational energy levels for a rigid diatomic molecule. Now consider a transition from the jth level to J plus 1th level. So the energy difference between the two levels is given by epsilon J plus 1 minus epsilon J equal to B into, instead of J, write J plus 1 because it is a J plus 1th level. So B into J plus 1 into J plus 2 minus Bj into J plus 1. The difference can be seen to be 2B into J plus 1 centimeter inverse. Now, if we consider the first transition, that is from the ground state J is equal to 0 to the first state J equal to 1. J equals 0 here, we will get 2B. Now the next transition will be from J equals 1 to J equals 2, because delta J can be only plus or minus 1. So J equals 1 to J equal 2 will have 4B. Similarly, for J equals 2 to J equals 3, we will have 6B. And it goes like this. That's 2B, 4B, 6B, 8B, 10B, etc. So from this, we can see that the separation between the adjacent lines is constant, which is equal to 2B centimeter inverse. That is, the lines in a pure rotational spectrum are all equally spaced, and the spacing is 2B centimeter inverse. Or we can say that the rotational spectrum of a rigid diatomic molecule will consist of a series of EQ spaced lines and their separation being 2B centimeter inverse, where B is the rotational constant. And the last part is the applications of microwave spectroscopy. That is, what all information we will get from the study of microwave spectra. We can obtain information regarding molecular parameters of polar molecules from their microwave spectra. For example, we can calculate the moment of inertia and bond lengths from the spectral data. That is, we have the rotational constant B, and its value we have seen that it is h by 8 pi square IC, where I is the moment of inertia. So if we know the rotational constant B from the spectra, then we can calculate the moment of inertia, and from the moment of inertia we can also calculate the bond length. So we can obtain information regarding the moment of inertia and bond length from the microwave spectrum. Thank you.